All right, guys. Good morning again. This is going to be the recorded session for how do I look at the market? So it's going to be I like to consider them in-depth basics because I'm going over basic concepts, but you can apply it to so many different things. So it's going to be basics, but in-depth market structure. And again, you can apply this to HFX, FRX, any type of trading that you do, as long as you understand the candles and what's actually going on. So just because we are in a Forex Academy, I'm going to start by checking the news, right? It's something that I'm still gonna go over the HFX trading checklist because this is still something that you have to do if you want to make sure you have the best understanding of the market. And it's very, very, very quick. So of course, always do your fundamental analysis first, which means you want to check your news. You want to get a temperature check of the market. It's kind of like reading the menu. What's going on so I know what to order, right? Now, if you see a red folder, we just want to avoid it as a new trader. It just means that the market is going to be moving a little bit faster. And if you are just starting out trading or if you're trying to get better, you don't want anything unpredictable happening. You want to be able to look at something, even if it does take you 3 to 5 minutes, which is typically how long it will take to do a proper markup and analysis, and be like, okay, cool. Like you don't want to feel rushed and be like, well, I have to do this in 1 minute. I'm getting it in 1 minute. It's like, no, I'm looking at a 5 minute analysis. I have 5 minutes to collect this information. Let me slow down and see what's going on. So step one is always check the news. You want to check the time of day. So right now it's 10:27 a.m. So I'm gonna go over to 10 a.m. And I don't see anything too alarming around this time. I see at 9:15 it was an orange folder, but nothing too crazy. You mainly just want to make sure you're avoiding those red folders so that you want predictability. Essentially, the market is very basic. It does the same thing over and over again. So do not uh increase your risk, right? It's just to manage your risk. When we talk about proper risk management, it's not just making sure you don't put too much money into the trade. It's about, how can I find the best position to get into this market, right? And you want to limit those risks that you have. So, step one, check the news, right? No red folders. And I just like to draw it visually because this may be somebody's first time watching a video. If you see there's a yellow folder, you always want the market to stay within these lines, right? So with a yellow folder, it's just telling you that the market is moving like this. You know that if you want to go for a sell, you can go here, you can go here, you can go here, you can go here. Like you just want it to be predictable. If you're looking at an orange folder, again, remember, no matter what analysis you're doing, you always want the market to stay between the lines. Anytime the market is between two lines, the top line is going to be a great opportunity for a sell. It's telling you, okay, this is where the market tends to reverse and drop at. And the bottom line is telling you, okay, this is where the market tends to reverse and buy at. So if you see an orange folder, something like this, right, USD, you can expect the market to be moving like this. And remember, you want it to stay in between the lines, but there's a little bit of unpredictability here. Nothing too crazy, but if you can manage your risk with a yellow, go for it, right? Go for it. Yellow folder or no folder is the best. Now, red folder, same concept. The market is moving like this. Your entry points will not be respecting any type of zones. But as you learn more about support and resistance and reversals and just trade opportunities, you may actually benefit from trading like this. But as you're learning, just take your time and look for a stable market, right? That's step one. We're still on step one of the trading checklist, but I want you guys to understand why, right? So if that makes sense, y'all, just drop some sevens in the chat. If it makes sense as far as how we're choosing our currency pair, right? Because everybody has a preference. You might just love to trade USD, but what if you come in on a day where the USD is all red folders? You don't want to do that, but you can move to something else with the knowledge that you have about market movement. Awesome. 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 So this is step one, y'all. Step one is check the news, right? Check the climate of the market. Step two, whichever broker you have, you just want to make sure that is paying out over 70%. And that's how we're going to choose our currency pair. And the reason why I like to choose the currency pair second is because after I check this, now I'm just from this point on, right? From this point on, I'm collecting confirmation. So after step one, check the news. Step two, choose your currency pair. Everything else is collecting confirmation. So I typically just start from the top of the list, right? And I'll go down. So I didn't see anything alarming on AUD CAD. Plus, I see the payout is over 70, which is good. And that's just to make sure you're getting your money's worth and again managing your risk. If I told you, all right, I'm gonna give you $10. No, if you give me $10, I'll give you $8.50. You'll be like, okay. Like, that seems like a really good deal. But if I say, well, you give me $10 and I'm gonna give you $3, you will be like, like, you would just have a lot more to think about. So that's what you're really looking at when it comes to the payout. Is it really worth the risk? Like, essentially, is it worth the risk? So AUDCAD, y'all, is this worth the risk? Is it worth the risk? Y'all let me know in the chat. Sorry, I'm gonna get my charger. Okay, good. So it is worth the risk. And the way you can answer that question, especially if you're new or if you're unsure, is if it's over 70%, it's probably worth the risk. It's probably worth the risk. And you can think about it in terms of $1, $100, however you want to think about it, right? So cool. We're going to stick with that. So everybody can just go to AC. That will be the pair that we will be looking at until something changes. So step 1, check the news. Step 2, choose your currency based on payout. Is it worth the risk? Yes, it is. Step 3, and this is a step that I used to skip sometimes, but you really don't want to skip this step, because remember, after you choose your currency pair, that's when you're actually getting your confirmations to choose your position. What people need to understand is that Forex trade is all about the right position. Whether you're doing traditional currency trading, you need to know, okay, if I get in now, is the market going to continue to climb? The further it moves away from this point, that's great. I mean, with HFX, you need to know, like, wow, this market is really moving quickly. Is this the right time to get in? Right this time. So AUDCAD. Now here, you're really just looking for one thing, again, because you're counting your confirmations. If the first currency in that pair, we know we're looking at AC, right? So the first currency is AUDCAD. If the first currency is stronger, that means that that's the first confirmation for a buy. It's not, hey, I'm definitely getting in for a buy. It's just, all right, I'm counting my confirmations. I mean, I always recommend that everybody keep a little trading journal, or if you can take mental notes, sometimes it just helps to see it, but if you can take mental notes, you can do that as well. So I like to make a T chart, a B for the buyers, a S for the sellers. And since my first currency is weaker, I know that the market might be selling, so the sellers will get the point. If the first currency is stronger, buyers get a point because it's a buying market. If the first currency is weaker, sellers get a point. So we can already see sellers are in control right now. And what I also like to do is, this is why I love my demo account. I love my demo account because it lets me test my theory. Okay, it says the market should be selling. If I go in for a sell AUDCAD, right? I'm not saying do that, guys. I'm just saying test your theory. If it says the market should be selling, one confirmation is never good enough, but you can test the market after every confirmation. So we see that we got in for a sell, but the market shot up immediately. So we know right off the bat, we need more confirmation. We can't just say, well, currency stream said it was selling, I'm gonna get in for a sell. That's when we get spiked out and lose money, because there's a lot of other things to consider, right? First confirmation, but it's not the only confirmation. So we have about 42 seconds left. We're just going to see what's happening. But even now, we can just see that, okay, this quote unquote should be a selling market, but the buyers actually have some power. Like, they're actually really trying to drive the market up. Because if it was selling the way we thought it was based off of one confirmation, we should be in deep profits right now. However, we can see that it's struggling, meaning we need more confirmations for this sell just to be sure that this market is going to continue to sell, right? We need more confirmations. If this is making sense, y'all, I'm just showing you how to literally work through every step of the HFX trading checklist and how to ensure that what you're looking at is actually correct. This is why we have a demo account, right? To actually test these theories. If it's making sense, y'all, drop 7s in the chat, right? Make sure I can see the chat first and foremost. All right, awesome, right? So we can see that, okay, this market is selling, but this may not be a strong selling trend. So we only have one confirmation so far, right? We only have one confirmation so far. I mean, I hope you guys are using your demo account. These sessions are not for people to just hop on and make money. That's not my intention. If that's your intention, this is not the right session for you, because I'm demonstrating things as we walk through. All right, awesome, Tiffany, awesome. So now we're actually going to go to the Gold Liberty scanner. to the Liberty scanner and we're going to choose our strategy. So cool. Now that you cleared the demo, or if you clear or don't clear, now you can know, okay, let me start collecting more information about this trade. So the strategy that we will use today will be Webslinger. We'll use Webslinger because it's pretty easy to identify what's going on in the market. So once you come to the scanner, make sure you choose your correct currency pair. By you can type anywhere on the screen. Unless you have an iPad, you may have issues, but other than that, you should be fine. I'm going to go to AUDCAD, and you want to select your time frame. Now, when it comes to HFX trading, it's high frequency. We do want to move quick. We want to move fast. So the lowest analysis that I would start on is the 5-minute, right? Because again, we need about 5 minutes to collect the information to make sure that what we're seeing is accurate. We don't want to just glance. Well, we should be able to glance at this and be like, okay, I'm getting in for the sell, but it helps to know that you have time. And I just going to start reiterating this in my trainings as well. If we're looking at this on a 5-minute chart, right? So let's just say you were trading on your own. You would know that every 5 minutes is opportunity to get into a trade. So that would have been 10:30, right? 10:35, 10:40, 10:45, 10:50. So based on just looking at this every 5 minutes, we know that we have about 3 minutes left. It's 10:37. We have 3 minutes left to analyze this market and figure out if we should get into the trade at 10:40, right? Because timing is important. Timing is another confirmation because you want to get in at the top of where that candle started. It just helps you with your entry point. And this is why. Let me draw it out for y'all. So let's just say we have a red candle, right? Let's just say we have a red candle. And every 5 minutes, the candle is going to start, which means at 10:35, this candle would have started. So if we would have gotten right here, right, if this was our entry point, let me just right here. All right, there we go. If this was our entry point, right, and we got in for a sell and the market closed down, like when this candle opened, let's just say it was 10:35, right? That was our entry point. So we got in as soon as the candle started, and then the market dropped all the way down here. So now we are 10 points in profit, right? Because we got in as soon as the candle started. That was amazing. Now let's just say it wasn't 10:35, it was 10:37, but the market was already dropping, right? So let's just say our entry point was actually right here. And the market closed right here. Do you guys think that for a sell, the first entry point is safer or the second entry point is safer, just to make sure that you are securing this trade and profit, right? Would you want to get in as soon as the candles start to make sure that you have the best entry point and is furthest away? Or would you want to get in at the second entry point where it's like, well, I'm going to just get in at the middle of this candle. It may be in profit. It may not be in profit, right? Right? Yeah, the first one is actually it's a better entry point, Margaret. And the reason why it's better is because would you rather close your trade 1 point in profit or 10 points in profit? Right? Would you guys rather close your trade 1 point in profit or 10 points in profit? 10, right? It's just safer. You feel more comfortable, like this thing is out of there. I don't have anything to worry about. I don't have to worry about if it's going to reverse back. And this is why it's just so crucial and critical to think about timing when you get into the trade. So for example, if we were to get into a trade, right, we know that at 10:40, which is in about 20 seconds, we don't have our confirmations for a sell or a buy yet, but I'm just giving you guys an example as to why timing is important. We have 15 seconds here, right? So in 13 seconds, if I were to get in, yeah, exactly. You can wait for a pullback, but that is considered market execution. Right now, I'm just letting you guys know. Everybody asks about entry points. The best time to get in is like, it's a lot of different times. You can get in as soon as the candle starts. So let's just say I get in right there, right? As soon as the candle started, I got in, right? We should expect the market to actually drop down because the candle just started at that time, 10:40. Now let's just see what happens. We have 45 seconds. Now remember, we still didn't collect all the confirmations that we need. However, this is going to help with entry points, right? Because I try to express this as best I can, is not always going to be an exact entry point. But if you understand how people are getting into the market, why, when, like all we literally did, y'all, all we did was we got one confirmation, right, from the currency strength meter. right? We saw that the market was trending down because it's Webslinger, and I'll go over more details in this. But do you guys see how we're so in profit? Do you guys did anybody take this trade at 1040? It's not. Did anybody take the trade at 1040? No. Okay. No. Okay. Well, good, good, good. But do you guys understand? Okay, good, Roy, good. But do you guys understand how timing helps with your entry point? Okay, because I'm just trying to demonstrate different ways to get into the market, because a lot of people tend to wait and wait, and they'll be like, I missed the entry, I missed the entry. It's like, you didn't really miss the entry. There is no true entry if you understand different ways to get into the market, right? So we just use a time-based entry point, right? A time-based entry point. And yes, Shay, I can do it again. However, let me know, Shay, let me know what time I have to get into the trade if you want me to do it again. What time? Yes. Thank you, Margaret. 10:45 a.m. because yes, thank y'all. It'll be 10:45 a.m. because remember, if a new candle is going to form every 5 minutes, right? If a new candle is going to form every 5 minutes, we know that the next opportunity we have to have a trade opportunity like that would be at 10:45. And the next opportunity would be at 10:50. And the next opportunity will be at 10:55. So I'm going to take this next. You always know how much time you have left because it'll be right there, right? You always know how much time you have left before you enter the trade because it'll be right there. So I'm gonna take this next 2 minutes to again show you guys how to continue to mark up your charts. So that you can, like Margaret asked earlier, you can either wait for that pullback to the entry point that we're gonna mark up, or you can just get in at the top of the new candle once you have your confirmations. If that's good, y'all, I'm about to break that down. Just drop some sevens in the chat. Okay. All right, awesome. So we have about a minute and 49 seconds. So this is a huge tip because people often do get confused. Okay, what is my entry point? What is my entry point? So your entry point can be at market execution, which is something like we just did. We waited for the new candle to form. We didn't wait for a pullback. We didn't wait for a retracement. We looked at our chart. We said, okay, this market is selling. It's going to continue to sell. Once this new candle comes up, I'm going to sell. That's called market execution entry. Or you can just wait for the pullback, meaning you're going to wait for the market to actually reach a specific area, a specific zone, a specific number before you take that trade. And this is how the style of trade that most of us have gotten used to with our live educators, with the SBC sessions. We just really get used to being like, okay, well, the entry point is XXXXX or higher, right? Or XXXXX or lower buy, right? Or XXX or higher sell. You don't always have to wait for those things if you understand what's going on. So first and foremost, if you do just want to have a deeper analysis, you do want to exercise a little bit more patience and just to wait. Like the pullback is never a bad thing because this is a good point about the pullback actually. The pullback is not a bad thing because at the end of the day, you're just waiting for the market to revisit a previous candle opening, right? So instead of just getting in at the new candle and just taking your chances with the trade, you're just waiting for the candle to revisit a previous candle opening, which is still a valid entry point. And the easiest way to do that is no matter which strategy you're using, no matter which strategy you're using, as soon as you log in, whatever the current candle is doing, you just want to add a horizontal line to the top. This is probably gonna be a buy. A horizontal line to the top and bottom of that candle. So let me just demonstrate that. So we see a new candle formed, right? We didn't take any trade idea. On the left panel, you have a bunch of tools. Yep. So you have a bunch of tools and you have your trend line tools. You want to get your horizontal line. You want to click it. I typically like to change the color of it just so that it's not clashing with any other colors on my screen. And I like to change the thickness of it just so that I can actually see the line. So the settings for that pop up as soon as you click here and click horizontal line. So you just want to put a horizontal line at the top of that candle. And you want to put a horizontal line at the bottom of that candle, right? And all this is telling you is that if the market pulls back to that top line, which is a previous entry, we can see not only is it on the current candle, but it's on this candle too, right? Not only is it on this candle as a previous entry point, but it's on this candle too. So just as somebody who is going to be a little bit more patient, you could say, all right, so not only do I know that if the market pulls back to 681, right, depending on your broker, you may have to add a few points, subtract a few points. It really will depend on your broker. If you're confused about that, or you get confused about the numbers, just take a look at where the market is, right? So currently the market on my scanner is at 656. And if I go to pocket option, the broker number over here is, okay, 656. So right now it's a little bit accurate. So we know that if we were to get into a trade, it would be, oh, right, it's 649, 656. So it's still a 5-point difference, right? Between 650. Well, it's obviously changing, y'all, but y'all get what I'm trying to say. Look at where it is here, and then look at where it is here. Okay, it's about a 5 or 6 point difference. So you know that you want to add 5 or 6 points to your analysis, right? And it's going to be different based on what your broker is. So, all right, put a horizontal line at the top of the candle, put a horizontal line at the bottom of the candle. If you're going for a sell, then whichever number is attached to that top line, that's going to be your entry point, right? You're just going to wait for the market to get back to 681 or anything higher than that, because the last time it was at 681 or anything higher than that, it went for a sell, right? So you can wait 2 minutes and 30 seconds, right? And say, all right, I'm going to see what this next candle is going to do. I see more confirmations for a sell, and you can just get in at 1050. Or if you don't want to wait until 1050, you just have to wait until the market actually revisits that entry point. If that makes sense, y'all, drop a 7 in the chat. How long do you wait to put the lines? Because what if the candle is still forming? Well, if you're using the 5-minute analysis, I would wait 1 or 2 minutes. So you have between, by the time this number right here reaches 3 minutes, the candle should have formed. And this is why I don't recommend doing 1 minute analysis, because we can change our time frame to 1 minute up here, and then a candle is going to be forming every minute. But that's not really realistic, because the candle takes about 2 minutes to actually form its high and its low. I do want you guys to just pay attention to that as you are trading more on your own, as you are practicing. And I want you to notice how between the first 1 and 2 minutes is when the candle will actually form its high and low. So between the first 1 and 2 minutes, the candle is actually giving you a sell opportunity, right? It's giving you a buy opportunity, because it's already reached essentially where it's going to go. This is the highest it's going to go. This is the lowest it's going to go. But what you want to focus on is going to be determined by how many indicators you have. So based on our currency strength, we knew that this would be a selling market. Based on our trigger words, right, from when we're trading, we have trigger words for a buy and for a sell. We know that if we see a red candle, that's another confirmation for a sell. So far, we're 2 in for the sell. We know that if our candles are falling under, right, or below any of our indicators, we know that's more confirmations for a sell. So you can take tallies, you can take points, you can collect 3 confirmations, 4 5. You can do whatever you want, honestly, but you should be able to glance at this and see that even though we have a blue candle, this is still a selling market. We have more trigger words and things that we can visually identify for a sell, right? If y'all agree that we can look at this based on the other trainings that you've been on, based on your understanding of red candles, under, up, down, above, below, all that stuff, this is a better setup for a sell than a buy, right? If we can see that, y'all, just drop a yes in the chat. Okay, good. So now that we know that, right, we know that is different ways we can get into the market. We can set up our horizontal lines just to give us some insight. All right, so let's look at this candle, y'all. We aren't going to do nothing for 2 minutes. You guys can feel free to pull up your Liberty scanner. And I just want you to observe the candle at least into the 3-minute mark. And you're going to see by that time, the candle should have developed a wick at the top. It should have developed a wick at the bottom. And you should have some insight as to what this candle is going to do by that 2-minute mark. So let's just wait. We have about 1 minute and 30 seconds left. If you took the trade idea at 1050 for a sell, just drop I'm in the chat. because it looks like you should still be in profit. It's only been about not that long, but you should be in profit if you are entering based on time, right? And what's your entry point for the people that are in? You should be in profit, guys. Oh, and I know somebody asked earlier which time frame. Personally, I think that Webslinger works better for longer trades. So 3 minutes. I think Webslinger just works better for 3 minute trades because the longer you give a trend to develop, the more accurate it is. And we can just look at this and see, okay, it was a little bit of a push up, but for the most part, it's still selling. Hey, Shamar, good morning. My favorite. So awesome. So anybody who's in this trade, Tiffany, if you took it at 673, you should be in deep profits actually. If you guys are in this trade and you are in profit, just drop some blue faces, money emojis, all of those good things in the chat. All those good things in the chat because this was a really good setup. All right, Jackie says I took the 1045 at 684 and clear. Okay, congratulations. Congratulations. So I really hope that you guys are taking thorough notes. I really just hope this is making sense to y'all because it's really not as hard as it seems. Okay, awesome. So wait 1 or 2 minutes. So wait 1 to 2 minutes to drop your lines and then a 3 minute trade on pocket option. Yes, but like either way, you guys don't have to do all these things that I'm telling you, but do what makes sense for you. So if you say, all right, well, I collected my confirmation, like you want to get through all the steps, but everything is not so critical. So always check your news. That's going to be one. Always check your payouts. Always check your currency stream. Your currency stream is going to be a really strong indication as to, okay, am I buying or selling? Then once you get into your confirmations, you're like, all right, well, I see it's a red candle. I see it's below the lines. I see it's below the clouds. I see, like, you're just going to notice a bunch of things quicker and be like, okay, this is more for a sell. Let me put my lines on here. So you can put your lines there just because you want to have a guide for yourself. But if you're trading by time, you don't have to do that as well. Like, I don't want you guys to spend time putting the lines on the chart and then waiting for it to reach the entry point and then missing it because it's not 1055. It's like, based on your analysis and what's happening at that time, if you're going to take it by market execution, just know that by the time the next candle forms, you need to have collected all your confirmations. Pretty much. I don't want to over explain. So yeah, the best times, regardless, the best times are always going to be to enter when the new candle forms, regardless of what the entry point is. Like regardless of what your lines say, it's always going to be when the newest candle forms because you're going to have the best setup regardless. Can you re-enter that entry? Yeah, of course. Of course, that's the point of the horizontal lines to show you places where it was retested. Sorry, y'all. I know I said this was a naked scanner training, but this ended up being Webslinger. It just ended up being Webslinger, which is, I hope y'all okay with that. I hope you guys are okay with that. But even if we were to enter lines right here, let's just say we put a horizontal line there and we put a horizontal line right there, right? So I'm gonna just draw it out because we can see that. I can still delete stuff off the chart. Hold on, y'all, and just show y'all something real quick. Real quick. Oh, I gotta delete it. I can't hide it. All right. So, y'all, even if we were just looking at the chart just like this, right? We were still, the naked scanner just means there are no indicators. There's nothing like, so pretty much what we're looking at right now is the naked scanner. This is the naked scanner, y'all. There's no indicators. There's nothing on this chart but the candle. So we can still find entry points based on just looking at this because the indicators are only there to confirm what we're seeing, right? They're only there to confirm what we're seeing. So let's just say, all right, we're still on AUDCAD. We're going to put a horizontal line at the top of the candle. It hasn't been 3 minutes yet, but it has formed its high, as we can see. And we're going to put a horizontal line at the bottom of the candle, right? And even if it's not at the bottom of this candle, because we have to wait, right, until the 3 minute mark, we can put it at the bottom of these candles because we can see that this was a zone that the market has started to create, right? We can see that, and let me draw it out. we can see that the market was selling, right? Just visually, right? We can see that the market started somewhere up here, and then it took a dive, right? We can see that there's a slant. And even if you don't understand that, if you see more red candles than blue candles, you can assume that this is a selling market. That means more times than not, the sellers had power to push the market down. Even though we did have these blue candles in between, at the end of the day, the blue candles could not get the price higher than what it was before, right? Do y'all see that? Price started to drop. It dropped. It continued to drop. It tried to get back up there, right? It definitely tried to get back to a previous high up here, but it just wasn't able to do that because it kept selling, telling us that the sellers have a lot of power in this market, right? They were pushing the market down. So then we see down here, right? It was selling, and the market is trying to go back. It's trying to go back up, but it can't. It hits this point, it sells, right? It hits this point, it sells. It hits this point, it sells. The market cannot get back higher because this is a selling market, which we've confirmed on the currency strength meter. We know that every time the market gets to this area right here, right? Because we have a line right there. Every time the market gets to 689, it just can't get higher. Like the buyers just don't have what it takes to pull it back up. And we can just look at this and see that the sellers are going to continue to actually drop this market. Like they've been doing it for a while and they're going to continue to drop it. If you guys can see that, right, just drop a yes in the chat, right? And I love looking at the naked scanner, honestly, because it just tells you so much about the market. Like it just tells, like, you don't need, well, you do need things on your chart to confirm, but you really don't need a lot once you understand market structure. Like, look at this. The market has been in this zone for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Because remember, these are 5-minute candles, right, y'all? 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So for an hour, right? Every time the market gets to 689, it's going to sell. We know, it's evident. It's right there. And every time the market gets as low as 601, is most likely going to buy until, let me just zoom out so y'all can see something. Oh, see, look, it really hasn't, it's going to keep dropping. Y'all see the market has not gotten lower than 601. And I'm trying to go back in the past to show y'all, but it just hasn't happened. The market is really stuck between 689 and 601. Like it's really stuck. It's really stuck, which is, we love that. This is called consolidation. Like it means that the market is consolidating. It's staying in one area. We don't got to think too much. We don't got to do too much. We just got to sit there and wait for it to do the same ish that it's been doing for the last hour. Right? Are y'all feeling me? Drop some sevens in the chat if y'all understand what you're looking at. If this makes sense. If this really makes sense. Because this thing is staying and it's so easy. And look at this. The market is currently at 676, right? So we know that we can wait until the market gets to 689, depending on your broker. Just check, see how many points you need to add. Once it gets to that zone, we know we should be able to sell, right? Even though it's a blue candle, we see that. We see, right? But that don't mean nothing. So let's see when it gets to 689. We know that's our sell. So y'all can, yes, took it at 694. And if you took it at 694, you should be in deep profits, right? Deep profits, right? So this is amazing. We know that we can get into a trade at 11, right? We know that we can get into a trade at 11. And this is the 5-minute, y'all. Now, if we go down to the 1 minute, just to show y'all, look at that. Still consolidating, but you can make your zone a little smaller, right? So you know, even on a 1 minute time frame, right? You know that it shouldn't get higher than 670 and it shouldn't get lower than 640. So if it go to 640 or lower, you should be able to get in for a buy on the 1 minute because we can see that on the 1 minute. That's the lowest point it's been. So let's see, right? So 6 on the 1 minute, getting for a buy because it should be shooting up. And then for the 3-minute sell, that's what we should be getting in for. 1 minute buy, 3-minute sell. Based on the analysis that we had. So let's see how this goes, family. Right? And I really hope y'all are understanding because this is so hot. Like, how could you not love this? Like, it's like, what? It makes so much sense. And even if you don't clear the buy, that's fine. That's fine because you know Webslinger works best for longer trades. But you did see that on a 1 minute time frame, where we had our support area and where we were able to get into the trade. So we got 20 seconds left. Let's see if we're going to clear the buy. If not, That's fine. Remember, Webslinger works best for longer trades. However, I do hope that helps somebody when people ask, okay, do I take 1 minute, 3 minute? It's based on the analysis you're using and what you see. All right, so we're gonna lose this 1 minute. We're not mad about that at all, because we should have waited for 640 or lower on the 1 minute, right? 640 or lower on the 1 minute, you would have been in profit. But now we're gonna stay in this 3 minute sell because we got in at 11 for a sell because we had more confirmations, and this thing should continue to drop, right? We see if you're using pocket option and you have your market watch open, 97% sellers. So this thing is going to continue to drop. And we should clear at least 10 points in profit, right? If you guys took the 3 minute sell, if you took the 3 minute sell at 11, drop I'm in the chat. Right? Because we are going to dust this thing, right? We're going to for sure clear this. Oh, nobody took the 3 minute sell with me. All right, y'all. So we got 50 seconds left in this trade. Awesome. What was y'all's entry points? As long as you clear at least 10 points in profit using this strat. If you took the buy under 640 on the 1 minute, Jackie, you should have cleared. Let me know how that goes. I did not clear mine because I got in market execution instead of waiting for the pullback on the buy, which would have made more sense in the 1 minute for me. 690. Ooh, Roy, talk spicy. And this was 3 minutes, 662. I love it. 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 Right? Everybody should have cleared. Everybody should have cleared. Yeah, no matter whether you're taking the 1 minute trade or the 3 minute trade, the best time to enter is still going to be at the start of the new candle. So whether you're getting in for 1 minute or whether you're getting in for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, you always want to start at the top of the hour, no matter what. So even if we are getting into a trade, let's just say we get into a trade at 11:05, that can be a 1 minute trade or a 3 minute trade. However, your entry point is still the best because it's at the top of the new candle. So no matter which time frame you're choosing to trade on, no matter which analysis you're using, you should still wait for the top of the candle. All right, awesome. Awesome. So I'm gonna have to change the name of this when I post it because I really was gonna go over the naked scanner, but I guess it'll be Webslinger plus the naked scanner. But yeah, guys, does anybody have any final questions? We do have about 5 more minutes, and yeah, I'll just answer any questions for the last 5 minutes. But yeah, I think this training was really thorough and amazing. If you guys can just drop one word to describe today's training, just go ahead and let me know how you feel about it. If this is something that you understand, you can see yourself using, you want more information. Again, I do have more web slinger videos clarifying. That's great, Vanessa. Great. Awesome. Thankful to learn more every day. Yeah, learning and earning is really the greatest thing ever. Yes, made 125 of your demo. Awesome. I love this, y'all. I love teaching. I'm never going to stop educating. I'm so helpful. I mean, I'm happy that I'm here and I can be helpful for people who want to learn, because if you have any skill set, any talent, anything that you're so good at, you can covet it for yourself, but that's not really helping you because you're already good at that thing. You might as well pass it on and help somebody else with that information. If like anything you can do that you can share, like God didn't give you your gift to keep it to yourself, like literally. And the irony is that when you get a gift, it typically is for you, but that's just not how life works, and that's just not what this is about. It's about share your gifts with the world. This is why we have entertainers, like they're sharing their gifts with the world. So I'm happy that I can come through and do this for y'all. I will be posting this video in the Money Mantra channel and on YouTube as well. It should be up there. As soon as it gets to my email, I'll repost it. If y'all know anybody who want to get in the channel, same process. just tell them to hit me up and I'll send them to how to get in the channel, how to get access to these free trainings that we do on a daily basis. If anybody still needs a one-on-one, my schedule is officially back open. So you guys can go ahead and book that. So yeah, I appreciate y'all taking the time to come learn with me today. And I will catch y'all on, I'll let y'all know because I'm actually updating my schedule. I'm updating my schedule, but I will still be teaching pretty often. So everybody have a great day and I will catch y'all later. Thank you.